rolling.
There we go. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode.
Sorry.
This is Two Camera Guys. My name's Emery Wolf. Joining me is Nick Lamb.
And
I don't know what I'm waiting for.
hey,
We're just
it's the R3.
Yeah,
Should we just power through?
R3, absolutely.
Okay, we're powering through.
Nick, what's your quick take of the R3? You watched a bunch of videos. What did you see? What do you like? What do you don't like?
Well, my takeaway seems to be the same takeaway I get every time I watch reviewers reviewing cameras. And it is that reviewers don't make videos. They're being filmed making videos, but they're using these cameras and describing them as somebody that's capturing B-roll only. So all the reviews that I watched, if you're a stock video shooter, it would be very applicable to what you're doing. But other than that, it's hard to get a takeaway from the camera when you're actually making a video.
Yeah, like I think part of the problem too is that it's a good camera, right? Like I don't think when you're getting to the R6, R5, R3, you really can't go wrong. Same with the higher end Sony, same with the higher end Nikons. With that said too, Nick, so we watched all these videos. Here's my quick breakdown of the videos I watched. So I watched the B&H video on it, which is a good run through of sort of what the camera is. Peter McKinnon, he did this whole thing. It was mildly entertaining where he's, following some race cars around and whatever. So it looks like it works for speed, which is what that camera should do, right? With the stacked CMOS sensor. But at the end of his video, ultimately, he came to the question, would he use it? And his answer was ultimately no. Like he wasn't going to buy it. It wasn't going to be part of his thing. But if he did do some more car photos or something, he would rent it to make it valuable. Jared Pullen was an interesting one, Nick. It was 28 minutes long. I don't know why you sent that to me. Yeah. Anyways, it was comparing the R3 to the A1. And you know what? The simple thing is, let's just spoil it. He goes for the Canon at the end of it. And ultimately, his reasoning for it is that the autofocus just seemed a little more sticky on his subject. I'm going to caveat that a little bit, like the autofocus system. So you'd have to select cars or sports or whatever it is. I think that's like a bit of an issue trying to get in and out. So if you shoot sports all the time, you leave it on sports. That's great. But if you're going to do something else, you got to go into the menu system and change it. That's a bit of a pain.
Now, on the Fro video that I saw, he chose Canon over Sony. His wasn't a Canon versus Sony, but he chose Canon because of the glass.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he said, I'm sticking with Sony for my stills camera. Yeah. As of now.
The RF glass, man, it's amazing. I haven't seen anything like it. And I've seen the Sony GEOS stuff, and I would still take the RF over it any day of the week. Gerald Dundan's video. So his video, actually, if you're thinking about purchasing the camera, I think this is a good one to watch because he goes through a few quirks of the camera, and there's a few of them that are a little bit bizarre. And then obviously he brings up the HDMI port, which to me is a non-issue. I don't know why people are so worked up.
I don't know why they were so. Everybody was bringing that up. It's so weird.
I think it's just something to complain about, right? It's the one thing that, or well, this sucks. So,
yeah.
If you're going to spend your time, I think the video to spend your time on is the DP review video of it. They go through why it's great, all this stuff. They go through overheating. They go through differences between the mechanical and electronic shutter. They go through the autofocus and how it's working. And that's where I got that idea, switching it's a little bit awkward in my mind. And the other thing they talk about is that strobe speed thing. So if you were using this camera as a portrait photographer, I'm not sure I would use it. I think I would want to go with the higher megapixels in a studio just so that you can get, you're doing those beauty shots of people and it's just close up. You get all that glorious little detail. For myself as a landscape guy, it's just the focus is too much speed. And I don't need that. So, I'd be spending extra money for really no gain.
Yeah, you'd probably get more gain with the R5 for what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And where I'm sitting right now, that's sort of my plan. Or the Fujifilm. What about yourself, Nick? Is this a camera you can see
Yeah.
yourself getting?
No. Well, if I was to get, I think I'd be lured away by the megapixels as well, just out of like thinking, if I did use it for stills camera and a video camera, I could see that, because the double stacked sensor, I don't see the point. And the rest of it, it's the same color image quality
Yeah.
as the
I
R5.
think the stack sensor is better for video because, like I said, it gets rid of the. I still can't
Yes,
remember the name. And
but
anyways,
I don't like. I don't really shoot action stuff when I'm using my camera. Like, the only time I shoot action stuff is when I'm a hired cameraman and I just show up with whatever camera they've got there.
cool. I think that wraps it up. Great camera, but for both of us, it's a
Yeah,
no.
it's just not going to work.
But if you're into those other things, like I said, sports, wildlife, or shooting high speed video stuff for whatever reason, it might be your jam.
It could work, and yeah, and Frobe almost had me convinced that it was a good camera to get for me, but then once I thought about it, I just kind of figured, no, it's not.
Cool. That's it for our PSA. Thanks for watching.